Here's where I am currently on the Moogle polystyrene drawing project. Most recently, I've started working on the Moogle polystyrene drawing project again, while also starting to edit the July 10 my dinner video project in Camtasia 2019. Ever since the July 9, my dinner video project file finished rendering in Camtasia 2019 and then finished uploading to my YouTube channel after I checked the video and audio of the rendered video project, and to make sure that the two short annotations I put in that video project file were correctly spelled and the grammar and punctuation were all correct one last time before I uploaded that rendered video project file to my YouTube channel. These Sharpie markers I used today, along with these two, and this one, and these two Sharpie markers, I plan on using for drawing and coloring in the wings on the back side of the Moogle polystyrene drawing project, though I use this end of this dual tip to make this dot over here. I went to bed today around 8:15 in the morning. And I recall falling asleep by 9 in the morning. After the rendered July 8 my dinner video project file finished uploading to my YouTube channel, around 6 in the morning. After I finished editing the July 8 my dinner video project, in Camtasia 2019. During the first few hours of today, I'm currently having some almond milk, as that's the closest thing we have to to whole cow milk. And I don't want the almond milk to be wasted. Around 6 in the morning, I had with a cup of plain coffee. And a plastic glass full of almond milk. A cut half of some kind of bacon cronut my dad got. A square cronut from the Salty Bread Pizza Cafe. Though it wasn't my first cup of coffee today, technically, as within the first hour of today, I had a partial cup of plain coffee that was about a fourth of a cup. To finish an earlier pot of coffee my dad made prior to the one he made during the early morning hours. During that same time period, I decided to tell my dad about and then show him the mild cut I got on the back of my left ankle the other day while pulling a runner while working in the produce department at Wegmans. Me and my dad went into our first floor or downstairs bathroom to use the sink there to rinse out the wound, then put hydrogen peroxide on it using some paper towel, then put on a default tannish colored standard Band-Aid on it along with some Neosporin ointment. But even though it was a new Band-Aid, it fell off within 15 minutes as I was walking through the upstairs hallway back to my room upstairs at my dad's place. Still, based off what I saw when I looked at the wound on the back of my left ankle today, in particular as my dad was rinsing and treating it, it seems to be healing well, for which I am thankful. I recall naturally waking up today around 4:15 p.m. and then around 5:45 p.m. I had with what was left of my second full cup of plain coffee for today and another glass of almond milk, the same one I used for around 6 in the morning, but a different plastic glass from what I'm using currently. I had some leftover broccoli with some cut up Italian sausage. I had 1 full cup of plain coffee from the early morning pot my dad made today, and then after I woke up naturally, I recall having another full cup of plain coffee, and then a partial cup of coffee that was about a quarter of a cup of plain coffee, roughly from 5 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. As for my first full cup of plain coffee today, I recall having that roughly from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning. During periods of time in which I had my air conditioner in my room off, my room throughout today ranged from room temperature to hot enough for me to sweat mildly. And when I was editing the July 9, my dinner video project in Camtasia 2019, I recall I at first sweated mildly with my air conditioner off, but it didn't really bother me. And as I finished editing the July 9 my dinner video project, the temperature in my room gradually cooled down to room temperature over an hour or so. When I'm editing a my dinner video project in Camtasia 2019 these days, at times it can feel a bit stressful. It involves some hard work to it. But it's pretty relieving when I get to the point where I'm reviewing the audio of the last raw video clip, and I no longer have to zoom out the timeline to be able to drag and select all of the raw video clips ahead of where I happen to be currently on the video project. But also as I edit the video project, there's gradually less dragging that has to be done, as gradually there is less ahead of where I happen to be at the time. So gradually, I don't have to zoom out the timeline as much to be able to get to the point where it doesn't take a bunch of time to drag through everything that's ahead of me for the project. Everything that's ahead of the timeline split/selection tool. Throughout today, I went from being 10 my dinner video projects behind to now currently being just 9 my dinner video projects behind. And I used the same cup for all the cups of plain coffee I had today, except for when I had that partial cup being a quarter of a cup within the first hour of today. Here's where I am currently on the task sets for the current episodic event on Alvenar. At some point soon, I should probably get around to getting rid of these remnants of the Almani settlement. But not this. I'm currently heading into the next chapter beyond the Almani chapter. I activated this research today after finally getting all the arcane ink I needed to do so, to activate that research technology. Now I just have to do the needed level ups.